Hi, my name is Soleil and welcome back to the Little Reader's Corner. Today I am talking about all of the books that I would like to read this summer. So I have recently moved away from doing monthly TBRs because I prefer to be a mood reader, and telling everyone exactly which books I plan on reading that month causes me a lot of stress because I feel like people then want to know if I enjoyed those books or if I didn't. And then if I tell them, yeah, I didn't actually read those, I read entirely different ones that I never even talked about. It's just a lot of stress, and I am currently starting this new job that is a lot more hours than, when I was unemployed. So let's do seasonal TBRs so I can talk about all of the books that I'm really excited to read, but we have a longer time period to read those. So we have a lot of books on the list today because summer technically is July to September in a way. So this kind of covers 3 months. So let's get into it. So first off, we have this lovely stack right here. Quite a few of these are contemporary romances because I have purchased a lot of contemporary romances recently. There are a lot of new ones that recently came out that I am so excited about. I also currently have a secret buddy read going on right now that will one day see the light of day. And this does not include my Draconathon TBR. If you don't know what Draconathon is, it is a month-long dragon-based reading event that myself and Jade from Jaded Reader host in August. If you're interested, I will leave the link and information down below to my announcement video, but it is good time. And we're specifically looking to read books from all around the world based off of the dragons we have chosen for this year. So check out that video if you're interested in that, but today I'm talking about all of the other books besides for those that I will be reading. Now, let's stop rambling on and talk about our first book, which is Jay's Gay Agenda. This is written by Jason June. I recently acquired this. I am so excited to read this. This is a gay romance that takes place in Seattle, and I lived in Washington State for 4 years, and it was a gosh darn good time. So we love to see Seattle, and this is about Jay, who has lived in a small rural town in Washington all his life. Then he moves to Seattle, and the gay community is thriving in Seattle. But Jay feels like he has really missed out on some key romantic events in his life, so he makes his own little gay agenda that he wants to accomplish in this senior year of high school. I've heard wonderful things. Maddie from Princess of Paperback absolutely loved this book and would not give me her ARC because she loved it so much. So I purchased my own copy and I'm excited to read this very soon. Next up, I really want to get to Better Together. This is written by Christine Riccio, who also is on BookTube as Poland Bananas Books. I absolutely loved her debut novel, Again But Better, and I am so excited about this one. This is about two sisters who basically were separated at birth, and then they go to this self-improvement summer camp and they meet again and they do a kind of sister swap. So this is Freaky Friday meets The Parent Trap, but 20-year-olds who are currently trying to figure out their lives, who have all of these things going on and are just kind of trying to find themselves, and then they find their long lost sister. Katie from Katie's Book Nook absolutely loved this. I've been wanting to read this for so long. I had the ARC and I'm so terrified to read my most anticipated 5-star predictions. Like I am so excited. Also, this is the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition, which has a reversed cover. This is the original cover, and here's the other sister on the back. So good stuff, can't wait. Also, just real quick shout out, ooh, very exciting. Next up, I cannot wait to read People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry. Emily Henry wrote Beach Read, which I absolutely loved, and it's in my summer book recommendations. Definitely check out that video if you're interested in what books I recommend for you to read this summer. If you have not read those yet, fantastic. But this is her new book. I have been wanting to read this for months. It finally came out a little bit ago and I cannot wait. So I believe this is about two best friends who have been going on a yearly summer trip together, but then there was some kind of falling out. They haven't gone since, and then the story takes place. Yes, so something happened 2 years ago that completely just broke apart their friendship and they haven't spoken since. But then there is something that brings them together for this last final trip, and there could be some romance involved. So far, I've heard really good things about this one. I decided that I will basically buy anything by Emily Henry after I read Beach Read, because Beach Read was just, it was a contemporary romance, but there were so many more deeper themes. Like sometimes a contemporary romance is just a fluffy, fun read, which is great. But then Beach Read brought in so much emotion and just all of this other like emotional baggage that was just, oh, so good. So I can't wait to read this. And this is just, it's just such a perfect summary time book. Like, come on, right? Yeah, exactly. Then this next one I'm actually currently reading, and that is One Last Stop by Casey McQuiston. Casey McQuiston wrote Red, White, and Royal Blue, which, you know, yet again, another author where I read their first book and was like, yeah, this writing style, this content, all of the things done here are just done very well, and I will most definitely be purchasing their next work as long as it aligns with my genre taste, and this most certainly does. This is about August, who just moved to New York. She hasn't really figured out what she wants to study in college. She's been going back and forth between all these different majors, and she just doesn't really know what she wants to do with her life. But now she's in New York, she has these new really wacky roommates that she's kind of loving, and she just started working at this diner, and she meets this girl on the subway. She starts seeing her every single day on her daily commute into her college, and there's kind of this flirtatious energy going on, but there's a little twist, and I love it when contemporaries have a little twist. Like it's just, love it. The twist is that this girl on the train is in some kind of like weird time travel time loop situation where she's actually from like the 70s, and she just pops up on this train. I haven't read the last section of the synopsis that talks about it, because sometimes the synopsis will be like, this is why they're stuck on the train, this is what went wrong, this is how it's all going to end. And I hate it when it does that, so I just kind of glanced at it real quick and then looked away. So that is all we know about this. I'm currently on page 60, so clearly we're doing well. This is quite a long book too. It's like 400 pages, but I am taking my sweet time, because that is what this summer TBR is all about. Just having a good time and enjoying ourselves, and we love to see it. All right, now let's talk about the fantasy books that I really want to get to. So first off, I am buddy reading The Shadow of What Was Lost by James Islington, and this is a buddy read with Allie from Allie Enchanted. I love Allie. We've been meaning to buddy read together forever, and this book was on my list of big books that I'm terrified to read list, which I posted in like maybe February or so. And on that video, Allie was like, oh my gosh, I've been wanting to read The Shadow of What Was Lost for so long. And I'm like, hello, can this happen, please? So it's finally happening this month. Of course, Allie is much further along than I am. I just hit chapter 8, which is, I think, like 90 pages into it about, but we're having a fantastic time. I'm loving this. The audiobook, fantastic, very good. I was able to get the ebook a couple months back, which is why it was on my TBR list of big books I'm terrified to read. I got it for like $1.99. and it sounded pretty good, and I was like, yeah, you know, why not? Let's go for it. And I am loving it. As I said, I'm like 100 pages in. Can I tell you what the plot is? I'm not so sure. So basically, there are people who are known as the gifted, and they have this kind of power called essence. I haven't fully figured out or learned what this essence really is, but it's kind of like an inane power of just like magicalness, you know? It's like a certain kind of power where you can use your essence to strengthen yourself at times, to give yourself more energy. I think maybe to move objects, maybe. And like it's a certain kind of power source within you. But the gifted are looked down upon by society. They're not seen as trustworthy, and they kind of go to this school to harness their powers. And that kind of thing. And then the main character is like, he hasn't been able to harness his essence because he's actually from a different group called augurs, who are even more looked down upon by society. And his power is more that he can tell when people are lying. I'm not sure exactly how that's gonna pan out. I'm only on chapter 8, so it's fine. But that's the main plot. So you kind of get a taste of that. Loving it so far. Can't wait to keep reading it, and we're having a great time. And then we have the other two highly anticipated fantasy releases of this year. I have started one of these. I'm having a good time with it, but I can only read so many books at the same time, so we're slowly going through all of the current reads. And that book is The Unbroken by C.L. Clarke. So I think I'm like 50-ish pages into this. I'm on like chapter 3, but it's great. It's really great. And I think I'm going to also listen to the audiobook while I tab up and or highlight this book while I'm reading it. But I need to specifically get this color highlighter because that's the only way I can truly highlight books, is if I have a matching highlighter. We love that, don't we? I cannot for the life of me explain what the synopsis of this book. It's just so intricate and just so well done on the back of this. So let's take a little peek, shall we? Terrain is a soldier, stolen as a child and raised to kill and die for the Empire. She owes loyalty only to her fellow conscripts. But now her company has been sent back to her homeland to stop a rebellion, and ties of blood may be stronger than she thought. Luca needs a turncoat, someone desperate enough to tiptoe the bayonet's edge between treason and orders, someone who can sway rebels towards peace while Luca focuses on what really matters, getting her uncle off the throne. Terrain and Luca will haggle over the price of a nation, but some things aren't for sale. I've definitely read this synopsis many times on my channel, and you know that's fine. I'm only on chapter 3, and it is so beautifully written. I'm loving the character descriptions and the description of this world, and honestly the chapter I'm on is like, stuff is about to ramp up and stuff is about to go down, so I can't wait to keep reading and see where it all goes. But since this is on a summer TBR, let's just give me a couple months to get through this, because there are a lot of books going on right here, and your girl is a slow reader, all right? She is doing her best. And then last on this list is The Jasmine Throne, and this is written by Tasha Suri. I am so unbelievably excited to read this. This was on my 21 anticipated releases list of this year, as well as The Unbroken. A couple more books on this list because honestly everything just came out in the summer. I cannot wait to read this, but also we have to wait to read this until I have at least completed my current reads, otherwise nothing will ever get read. For this one, we will also turn to the summary because these people are clearly paid to do these things well. Trapped by her despotic brother, this gets me every time. Trapped by her despotic brother within the crumbling walls of an ancient temple, Princess Malini dreams of vengeance. Forced to disavow her birthright and her power because of her past, maidservant Priya dreams of freedom. In a world beset by wild magic and turbulent uprising, their destinies will become irrevocably tangled, and together they will set an empire ablaze. Oh my goodness. I can't wait. It sounds fantastic. I want to read it right now, but I can't read it right now because I'm reading so many other fantastic books right now, and you see the problem we're having? You understand. So those are all of the major books that I will be reading this summer up until whenever my fall TBR comes out, which we'll see. As I mentioned, my Draconathon TBR for August is an entirely separate video where I will talk about all of the dragon books that I will be reading, or world-based books from around the world based off of some characteristics of dragons from all over. and I'm very excited for that. So keep a lookout for that because that will be a different TBR coming out very soon, or it's already out. Please let me know what book you are most excited to read this summer. I can't wait to see what you will be reading. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to hit that like button. Definitely subscribe so you can see when I post new videos, and hit that bell icon if you want to be notified the next time I post. And I will see you in the next one. Thanks so much for watching. Bye!